everyone, it's Maki here. Let me introduce the new G GUNDAM story,英雄変生. This story reveals the past of Kyoji and Schwarz brother. Today, we are going to dive into the fourth part of the story. At the moment, it's unknown if 英雄変生 will be released in languages other than Japanese. I'll share all the spoilers with you. So, let's take a look at the story of the GUNDAM. Before the 13th Gundam fight begins, Urube and Dr. Mikamura review Domon's data. Domon fights bandits, helps those in need, and faces various powerful martial artists. Observing Domon's strength, Urube knows with confidence. He has inherited the crest of the King of Hearts and possesses great skills. He's a prime candidate for scouting as a Gundam fighter. If he joins the Survival 11, he'll be free to travel around the world. Let's have him search for the ultimate Gundam. If we can just collect the data, that's enough. However, Dr. Mikamura warns Urube. If Domon finds out about what happened to the ultimate Gundam, your plan will be impossible. Urube replies, then we'll just keep it a secret. Dr. Mikamura begins to speak. Dr. Rorizo Koshu is still alive. But in the middle of his sentence, he realizes Urube's sinister intentions. Dr. Mikamura is speechless and stares in shock. Urube flashes a terrifying smile and says exactly. Urube has sentenced Dr. Koshu to cryogenic punishment. Dr. Mikamura, though unsettled, mutters a perfect way to silence him. Urube then laughs and adds, he would never have given us the 3 great theories of the ultimate Gundam. So let him be frozen with the truth for eternity. Time passes and Domon arrives at Neo-Japan's space colony. He is shocked to see his father frozen in front of him. Dr. Mikamura tries to comfort Domon and lies, I couldn't save him with my abilities. Urube also lies, saying the fact that someone who committed treason wasn't executed is an act of mercy. Worried about his brother Kyoji, Domon asks them questions. Dr. Mikamura answers he fled to Earth with the GUNDAM. Domon then asks, what is the GUNDAM? Dr. Mikamura continues his deception and says Kyoji called the new type of Gundam the GUNDAM. Urube speaks to the astonished Domon. Kyoji stole his father's research and planned to use its power to conquer the world. When Neo-Japan's military interfered with his plan, Kyoji fiercely resisted. Her mother was also killed by a bullet fired by Kyoji. After Kyoji escaped, Dr. Rorizo Koshu was considered his accomplice in the creation of the GUNDAM and was sentenced to severe punishment. Domon groans, but tries to keep his composure. Dr. Mikamura then addresses Domon. We have summoned you to Neo-Japan to deal with this situation. Urube adds, you will use a Gundam to capture the dangerous criminal Kyoji. As Domon reels in confusion, Urube and Dr. Mikamura continue to overwhelm him with new information, one topic at a time. Dr. Mikamura and Ali led Domon to the Gundam Development Bureau of Neo-Japan. Urube shows Domon a regenerating Gundam cell. Fragments of a mobile suit move eerily, gradually reassembling themselves. Dr. Mikamura operates the experimental equipment. A glowing hand-shaped machine approaches the mobile suit fragments. When the glowing hand grabs the fragments, they disappear along with the Gundam cells. Puzzled, Domon asks Dr. Mikamura, what just happened? Dr. Mikamura replies, this is the shining finger. Urube confidently adds, it is the only technology that can counter the Dark Gundam cells. The doors of the hangar of the Gundam Development Bureau open, revealing the shining Gundam stored inside. Urube says, I want you to pilot this Gundam now. It's not your first time in the mobile fighter, is it? Domon, still hesitating, replies, I've flown the King of Hearts special mobile fighter a few times. Dr. Mikamura adds, we also prepared a mobile fighter for your training opponent. Another hangar door opens and the prototype Rising Gundam appears. Urube smiles and says, let's start training to get you used to flying a Gundam. Domon boards the shining Gundam and prepares for battle. With the prototype Rising Gundam ready, the training battle begins. Watching the training, Urube and Dr. Mikamura exchange satisfied remarks. Urube notices that Domon's anger and hatred towards Kyoji increases the performance of the shining Gundam. Dr. Mikamura comments, we were lucky to acquire the shining finger technology. Dr. Raizo Koshu and Kyoji had erased the data on the Dark Gundam, but just barely. The technology to eliminate the Dark Gundam cells was preserved. When Dr. Mikamura discovered it, he named it Shining Finger and used it as a weapon for the Shining Gundam. While Urube and Dr. Mikamura continue their conversation, the training battle between Shining Gundam and prototype Rising Gundam continues. Suddenly, Dr. Mikamura notices a small anomaly. Shining Gundam's parameters are acting up. Dr. Mikamura had disabled the Shining Gundam's motion-to-energy conversion system, since the purpose of the training was simply to confirm the Shining Gundam's functions. Its combat systems had been deactivated. However, the Shining Gundam system reacts to Domon's emotions and activates. During the training, Domon's grief over the death of his family and his anger towards Kyoji grows stronger. He activates the Shining Finger, although the system for using the Shining Finger is locked for security. Domon's screen begins to override the lock. Dr. Mikamura hastily shuts down both the Shining Gundam and the prototype Rising Gundam. After the Shining Gundam shuts down, Domon stares blankly at his hand in confusion. After the training session, Dr. Mikamura and Urube discuss what happened. Dr. Mikamura is somewhat upset about the emergency situation in which the locked Shining Finger was used, especially since it was Rain Mikamura who was piloting the prototype Rising Gundam. Without any training as a Gundam fighter, Rain would have been in serious danger if she had been hit by the Shining Finger. Urube remarks with a smile, it was a sudden accident, not explaining to Domon that Rain was the pilot was her oversight. Urube, looking quite satisfied, adds, we have confirmed that Domon is well suited to be the Shining Gundam's Gundam fighter. Now all we need is the approval of the Neo Japan Gundam Fight Committee. Urube and Dr. Mikamura's plans continue to move forward. The scene shifts to Domon, who is praying in front of his mother's grave. Rain Mikamura soon arrives, unaware of her father's sinister plans. She is happy to be reunited with Domon, but saddened by the tragedies that have befallen his family. The scene then returns to a meeting between Urube and Dr. Mikamura. Urube suggests that Rain be appointed as the Shining Gundam's aide. Dr. Mikamura, visibly shaken, strongly opposes this idea. Urube confidently explains to Dr. Mikamura Rain can pilot a Gundam better than an amateur. The training worked to some extent before Domon became serious. Besides, her scientific knowledge is quite advanced. Moreover, as Domon's childhood friend, she is ideal for keeping an eye on him. She's close to Domon and, most importantly, she doesn't know anything about the Dark Gundam incident. She's the perfect candidate. Dr. Mikamura groans, struggling inwardly, but he can't refuse Yurubei's suggestion, his face filled with fear. Time passes, and Domon Koshu officially becomes Neo Japan's Gundam fighter. Vowing to win the Gundam fight and capture Kyoji for his frozen father, Domon sets out on his mission. Unaware of the true nature of the events surrounding him, Domon and the Shining Gundam descend to Earth, ready to join the fight. Time advances, returning to the year of the 13th Gundam fight. Schwarz brother, the Gundam fighter from Neo Germany, is sitting by a campfire in Kyoto. Nearby is Kyoji Koshu, with only his upper body intact. Using the cells of the Dark Gundam, Kyoji is gradually regenerating his body, but it seems to be a slow process. It's revealed that everything up to now has been Kyoji telling his story to Schwarz. Schwarz, shocked by Kyoji's story, ponders deeply. Kyoji explains that he intercepted Neo Japan's secret communications and discovered Urubei and Dr. Mikamura's conspiracy. Sympathetically, Schwarz replies, the upper echelons of governments and the military are always the same. They only act to protect their own interests. To be honest, I've been in a similar situation myself. Kyoji is taken aback, and Schwarz wears a sad expression. Schwarz then asks about Kyoji's condition. Kyoji reveals that he's a replication created by the cells of the Dark Gundam and mentions that the programming of the Ultimate Gundam malfunctioned when it crashed on Earth. Kyoji remembers the moment when the Ultimate Gundam crashed to Earth. As he descended, he regained consciousness and desperately tried to control the cockpit. He tried to slow down by reversing the engines, but his arm wouldn't move. Urubei's gunfire had damaged Kyoji's arm, preventing him from braking. Determined, he ordered the program to execute the 3 grand theories. Believing that the Ultimate Gundam would regenerate if the program worked properly, Kyoji felt a sense of relief. Upon impact, the Ultimate Gundam was crushed and barely recognizable. Kyoji, clinging to consciousness in the cockpit, watched as the Gundam began to regenerate. Its self-evolving program transformed its limbs into digging tools, allowing it to burrow into the ground. Kyoji had planned to report Urubei's conspiracy to the new Japanese government once the Ultimate Gundam was fully restored. However, the cells of the Gundam began to invade Kyoji's body. Mistaking Kyoji, its pilot, for one of its components, the Ultimate Gundam began to regenerate his body. Kyoji suspects that this malfunction was due to errors in the program caused by the impact of the crash. Now, deeply intertwined with the Ultimate Gundam system, Kyoji explains the Ultimate Gundam has turned into a mobile fighter that requires a biological unit. Furthermore, the Ultimate Gundam created a replica of Kyoji, another biological unit. After the Kyoji replica was completed, the original Kyoji awoke. Realizing that Urubei and Dr. Mikamura would probably use Domon to complete their conspiracy, he ordered the replica Kyoji to act to thwart their plans. After the regeneration of the Ultimate Gundam was completed, the replica Kyoji brought it to the surface. When Kyoji appeared on the surface, he unexpectedly encountered Master Asia. Seeing Domon's mentor gave him a feeling of relief. He thought about explaining the situation and asking for Master Asia's help. However, the replica Kyoji instinctively sensed a dangerous aura from Master Asia and decided to stay hidden. Master Asia approached the cockpit of the Ultimate Gundam and opened the hatch. As he looked inside, he wore a sinister smile. Seeing Kyoji tied up in the cockpit, Master Asia immediately deduced that the ultimate Gundam was powered by a biological unit. He began to look for a way to control the ultimate Gundam. Master Asia, delighted to have discovered a power that could fulfill his goal of restoring nature, burst into laughter. Hidden in the shadows, the replica Kyoji watched Master Asia's actions. Realizing that Master Asia's true goal was the extermination of humanity, the replica Kyoji continued to hide inside the ultimate Gundam, monitoring Master Asia's actions. He wanted to seize the opportunity to escape from Master Asia when the chance arose. Then the 13th Gundam fight began. The ultimate Gundam, now acting as the Dark Gundam, began to wreak havoc on the Earth. The Pharaoh Gundam of Neo-Egypt and the Minaret Gundam of Neo-Turkey fell victim to the Dark Gundam's rampage. Many other Gundams and civilians also suffered in its wake. Listening to Kyoji's report, Schwarz became skeptical. If this incident is as widespread as you say, why haven't I as a Gundam fighter received any news or reports? It's strange that no nation has responded to this chaos. Kyoji then revealed Neo Hong Kong's conspiracy. Wang Yangfa, the Prime Minister of Neo Hong Kong, had made a deal with Master Asia. The agreement allowed Master Asia to participate in the Gundam fight as a representative of Neo Hong Kong. Using Neo Hong Kong's resources, they erased all evidence of the Dark Gundam's destruction, including Gundams and entire cities. With the information suppressed, Neo Germany's Schwarz and other support teams remained unaware of the Dark Gundam's presence. The Dark Gundam's malfunctioning program had begun to identify Gundams that harmed the Earth's environment as enemies and attacked them accordingly. Kyoji speculated that since the Dark Gundam's body was based on the mobile fighter, it had learned to absorb Gundams to enhance its regeneration and evolution. Kyoji's speculations turned out to be correct, but there was also an unexpected development. Not only did the Dark Gundam regenerate, but it had begun to create 4 powerful mobile fighters within itself. The embryonic forms of 4 future formidable Gundams were now in production. The scene shifts to Ulubei's office in Neo Japan. Dr. Mikamura, visibly upset, exclaims this is bad. Ulubei, worried, asks what's wrong. Dr. Mikamura explains if my suspicions are correct, the Dark Gundam is heading for Shinjuku in Neo Japan. 4 powerful Gundam fighters are gathered in Shinjuku, and the Dark Gundam is attracted to their strength. However, if we activate the prototype Rising Gundam at the supply base, the Dark Gundam will shift its focus to it. Rain and the others haven't collected enough data on the Dark Gundam yet. If they attack now, they'll be defeated. Dr. Mikamura tries to contact Rain, but the communication doesn't go through. As the episode ends, the screen shows the worried faces of Dr. Mikamura and Ulubei, desperately searching for a solution. A number of fascinating revelations have come to light. The origin of the name Shining Finger was also unexpected. It turns out that Dr. Mikamura named it himself by incorporating Dr. Kashu's research into his Gundam without permission. Despite the bright, hopeful name Shining, the technology was created as a tool to fulfill the dark ambitions of Ulubei and Dr. Mikamura, which is rather chilling. It is also interesting to compare him to Master Asia, who saw himself as an evil force bent on destroying humanity and named his signature move the Darkness Finger. Ulubei's decision to recommend Rain as Domon's support member is equally alarming. Recognizing Dr. Mikamura's timidity, Urube sees the advantage of using his daughter as leverage, effectively using her impressive abilities for his own ends. We also got an explanation for the Dark Gundam's tendency to target mobile fighters. This spin-off is so carefully crafted and offers a deeper understanding of the G Gundam universe, which is really exciting. Where will the story go from here? Let's keep watching to find out. Thank you for tuning in and see you next time.